They changed the kit, I remember back then, that just made it more powerful as a support. But yeah, interesting to see this one being brought out specifically as a recon counter. So, and they would like stop moving before they exploded. And they also made it so they now follow targets in the brush.
He's getting in there. He's ghosting for this kill, and BD's going to have to flash away just like that in the solo 1v1. There's an interruption on the dash, by the way. We already got to see it. Palu is going to go back in. And BD's just dead. It's just a 1v1 kill solo by Faker, and now they're rooting the bottom lane. Palu's just dead too. And that's 2 kills for T1, 3 minutes into the game.
Huge. We'll see how this panned out. So obviously he ghosted. This is the initial play to get him low. Ghosted on him. And BD only has TP, so doesn't have a response combat summoner. And then BD's trying to walk up, and I assume he flashes on him.
Yeah. I think BD assumes he doesn't have mana.
Yeah, you actually looked. Faker's mana just ticked up to have enough for his E there.
But does want to roam on over as the Chains of Corruption going to catch Keria, and he is not level 6, so he is just dead. Gets flashed on by the Varus, aiming here with a nice look. They catch him in transition towards that Drake.
Because the area which counts as in lane, so where Perfect is proxying the wave is in lane, but when Doran walks back to defend against it, it actually doesn't count as him being in lane, weirdly enough. Triple tonic, and I think he popped the, I'm not sure what the specific tonic is called, but the one that gives the adaptive force. So he might be looking to make use of that.
He wants to fight.
Yeah, you can see the little red glow around him. He wants to fight. He wants to make it happen.
And now aiming's like, here, have a Chains of Corruption too.
Fight him with Celestial opposition as well, so you're pretty tanky, and so easy to proc it, right? Because you have slows on a lot of your abilities.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like KT trying to contest this.
There's a lot of shouting I can hear on the stage, so they're certainly trying to make some kind of play, as there is the engage from Keria. Presses his R button. Owner getting pretty low, but already Cuz goes down as aiming full health, but he doesn't have a front line anymore. BDD just has to flash out of there, but the chase is on. It looks like he's just going to wall himself out as Pace ends up finishing up the dragon, and that's 2 dragons now for T1.
Yeah, I think early levels, Doran, actually, the top lane matchup wasn't going as well as you typically expect. Got set behind a bit in terms of,
Okay, getting on in there, the exhaust to utilize, trying to really 100-0 owner, and they are going to be able to do that. A bit traded back, but only on to Palu, who is the support, and even Keria is getting pretty low. So nice setup there from KT.
An overstep there from T1's jungler that gets punished. And a nice pickup that's going to lead to the Herald here from KT. So despite a bit of a deficit down in Dragons as well, still very much in this game. But now, this is the thing with the Gnar. You just get to the point where you can just bully out a Renekton in the side lane. And Perfect is not having a fun time.
So our Deskers did confirm this is the chattiest comp of the LCK 2026. Maybe with the Varus, but not really. Not the best.
Maybe we should pitch it, but like, guys, next time switch your comp up, you know, not chatty enough.
All right, they're trying to make a play here onto the Wukong, who does not seem to have his clone, and it looks like Cuz is just dead. Even tried to flash out of that one and just gets hit by a giant boulder to the back of the head. Keria getting pretty low himself, but again, he is Lissandra with flash.
Everyone just gets so tunnel visioned on taking this guy down, and you see T1 and we're like, oh.
All right, Keria is in a totally fine spot, and it's mid-Gnar, so this engage not really panning out all too much, and Pays eating forward, trying to get some more damage down. Faker, not the most range, but is able to defend his team as owner. All the while was just taking the Mountain Drake.
But still, it's a big lead for T1 right now. And what I am a little bit worried about is Pays.
Palu somehow backing here where they could see him. We do have a disengage cone in position, but it doesn't matter with this much CC. Although Palu is going to flash on him, charm, and then just, well, die.
Yeah. Still, we're just seeing T1 getting more and more control off the map right now. And we see, you know, the spike for Pays right now, the Triforce, and the Romana fully stacked. Faker is approaching his Rod of Ages being fully stacked, and he's going towards Actualizer.
For not all too much. And Renekton's really not having a fun time against either of these solo laners as they're trying to engage a mini-Gnar here. Doran in a bit of a rough spot as the knockback comes out. They don't have all that much damage, but it is enough in the end.
Okay, nice
pick. Him down.
Aiming, trying to clear this wave out. And Pays playing with a lot of confidence here.
Yeah, very stubbornly sticking onto that turret for quite a while. BDD, meanwhile, is in the bottom lane.
They've actually dodged a bullet here, because if he was a little bit more further along, he'd be so much stronger.
Yeah, could have been so much worse. As trying to go in onto Meganar, not the best, I would say, as now we have the flank coming in from Perfect, trying to take down Doran. They will be able to do that, but now Owner goes in onto Cuz, who just gets burst down. They do, in fact, have the damage, and Pay's even looking for a bit more with that shift forward. So Palu very low, Cuz is down, and T1 can kind of just do whatever they want. I would imagine they'll look for this Mountain Soul.
It was such a weird engage, you know. Obviously they did take down the Mega Gnar, but I felt like they just threw their front line at this bulky Gnar and just took so much damage in return. And in the end, not only did you give over the Mountain Soul, but now Faker's level up comes in. His Rod of Ages is completed. The next time you fight, he's going to have Actualizer. And I think that might just be game.
Use the quickness just to try to barely survive. Like, that's not the engage synergy we were talking about. Could have been much better, as now Perfect in the side lane. He's got a big shield, but the smite comes in, and it looks like Perfect will just go down in the 2v1. So a nice little pick.
Almost earth levels of ability haste with his item. And also, it gives tenacity, which I don't think he needs, right? He has cleanse, but you know, why not?
Yeah, a little bonus, you know.
Just to make things even more impossible than they already felt a little bit.
Some tendencies sometimes.
Okay, we'll see. Well, so far things looking good, but Cuz is trying to make his way in, potentially for a steal.
Yeah, he's trying to get that engage going as Palu, and well, it wasn't much of anything, as now the Cyclone is going to go down, and a massive Doran to the wall! Doran wants to end this game right here, right now, and I think he just did. As Perfect on the run, but he should be the 4th casualty on the list. BDD also on the run, but Faker's just sprinting at him. Is trying to actualize all over BDD at this point in time, who is going to flash away, and the flash comes in from Faker. Nice knockaway, actually, from BDD onto Keria. As they're really extending into the base beyond 2 turrets.
Who's tanking? Come on. Okay, Keria, you've got it. He's a little bit tanky, shield. Right? Got the shield. There's still, the mid-tier 2 is up, right? So definitely a little bit of an overstep there to try and chase down BDD. Let them get Elder, but if KT come to contest, they'll just kill them. They won't let it be a flip, because that's like the only way you lose the game, is Cuz steals the Elder, and then they win a fight off that. T1 have seemed quite serious this game. No shenanigans yet. And KT trying to make the base defense happen, but the tower's getting shredded by these cannon minions right now. And Pay's trying to land the poke here.
Yep. Still a minute 30 on the Baron buff, so really just trying their best to push in. Here's the TP, and this will be from Perfect with the Dominus procced already, but the rest of the team is so far away, and now aiming is all by his lonesome, is going to flash away, but the Realm Warp is coming in, and Faker wants to continue to actualize on this team. The exhaust is there, aiming is down, and the denial on the wall getaway from BDD is really going to put the nail in the coffin on this game number 1. 15-5 the kills.
You know, that recall was a great call, Perfect. You just stay in the fountain. No, I think there's a better place for you to be.
Yeah.
And that is in the fountain. Not much you can do here.
He's going to get rooted up by Keria, who just casually plays Lissandra support into Palu's Rakan, and wasn't even the main character of this game. I mean, he was good.
But I think they might just struggle at the kind of absurd survivability of T1's front line, and also the DPS of their backline. Because you think about the fact that, like, Sejuani and Rek'Sai, this matchup happened between Chovy and Vikla.
Yeah.
You know, Vikla got that really good early trade level 1, which I assume didn't happen between BDD and Faker based on how the lane is now.
Doesn't seem that way, as now we do have the Sejuani and the Rek'Sai trying to get to work on the door, and the flash comes in, and he is so dead. First blood will go over to Cuz on the Sejuani. Feeling very comfortable on this pick.
Yeah, you saw actually the passive. It wasn't fully stacked for Doran, and then it started to drop because he was focused on running and not maintaining it. Frozen Tomb, and here's his, Glacial Prison. Okay, that makes sense.
It does. KT are getting to work here on this first streak, and owner says you can have it. We don't have Canyon in this game to throw down a flag and steal it twice.
Yeah, fortunately, that's still just insane that happened twice. And on the Baron as well. But Cuz looking for Fake here. No flash.
Oh, and it's going to land. There you go. The Glacial Prison comes through, and Faker just trying to sweep him away. He's taking damage from the ranged minions even, and he is without a dash. Eventually just gets hit by the flail of Cuz. and gives the assist over to BDD.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a serious question. Did Zeke's always look that cool?
I think so, yeah.
I feel like
Pretty sure.
Maybe it's just because I often see it in the middle of a fight, and you can't see the full animation. But
also, we kind of used to make fun of it.
Yeah.
The engage comes in. Pays, though, is just standing and firing. And yes, he gets a kill, but aiming is eating good tonight as he picks up the 80 carry.
But Ghost does burn his flash there. So in terms of summoners, T1 trade up, but in terms of aiming, get into, push in, get a plate, I think, here. Yeah, and some extra farm. Definitely a trade up for KT. So good engage there. I guess we'll see if his quest finishes much later. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't have it mapped in my head exactly where all the limits are for the lanes.
Yeah, weird. We do have the flash coming in, but Pays in a bunch of trouble, slowed for basically forever. Even the wild growth, not enough, and the root comes through, and Ghost will rightfully take the kill. Justice for supports. Okay, you're going Ghost, and your support's going to get McHale's to shore that up.
He's also going into Ghost on the other team.
He is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So Cuz coming in here, giving the Heartsteel stack over to Owner. But will Owner go down is the question as the flash comes in, and he's just supremely dead. And even a root here onto Keria, dash over the wall. Keria, no flash once again, has that Sorelia's. So kind of just
I thought he
trying to get a good trade on a Faker.
But Fake has ult, so probably better not to. A wise decision from BDD. not just to send it. Yeah, they are getting a red-white access on this turret.
How did this happen?
Just a awkward reset time, I think, after they took the dragon.
It's just a first turret for T1, just based on that. And, I mean, KT had a really nice lead, and now the ult is going to miss, and Pays just goes out of there. Ult also not going to land from Cuz as BDD is here, though, and I think they should be able to get him down as the Shuriken does miss, but the job is done regardless. 2 kills.
Of course, is enough to make it work, and the bot lane for T1 getting punished again. Pays in particular being targeted heavily and paying for it, but it's still
turrets.
Yeah, T1 getting another tower. BDD has no ult here, so I don't think he can get the kill. Can't just rely on stacking dragons to win you the game here. It gives T1 a lot more space. KT definitely ahead in this game, but not by as much as maybe you'd hope based on how many winning plays they've made so far.
Yeah, it just feels like when you look at all the fights, it's like, oh yeah, obviously KT are dominating them. And then you look at the 0.8k gold lead, it's like, wait.
I don't think anyone on KT's going to be unkillable.
Well, at a certain point in the game, sure.
I think...
Although, with only Kanik, Rookern, and Zeke's, you're not doing all that great against the Aphelios.
Yeah.
Push out mid and bot. Perfect, just looking to TP into this play, eventually. As BD looking to isolate Faker. He's going to get that barrier away from the Verdant barrier. Getting pretty low is this Drake now as the TP is coming in from Faker up to the top side of the fight. And now the engage from Doran going to get onto that backline. And the steal from Owner just gets it. A pretty nice engage from Ghost, though, as the sweep comes in, but Faker is so low. And the chase is on. Flash over the wall from aiming. That's going to be another kill. Takes down Carry on top of it. Double for aiming. As T1, they get the Drake, but they lose 3 for it as KT extend their lead.
And the super sub pays off. Ghost comes in and gets a massive ult there onto T1's backline. This is exactly the fight KT needed to continue the momentum.
And no TP on Perfect, but this takes a very long time this day and age. This is not the T1 Barons of old. So they're just going to kind of send it and look to turn. Ghost getting a little bit low, but Keria as well. And that's going to be the end of one of the supports as in goes toward into that backline, just immediately dies. No res for him, and the T1 Baron looking more like a KT Baron at this point as the knockup comes in right before Faker can sweep them away.
Shuriken?
As we do see the Aphelios doing a lot of work, but not quite enough. BDD cleans it up, and that is a 5-for-0 ace in favor of KT.
Back-to-back, just perfect fights for KT. You know, it just didn't look like they had the game under their control, and I felt like it came down to these critical moments, and they do not miss a beat. And now 15-1. 80 carries roll swap into supports. Yes, they can absolutely do that.
Oh, we got the Grim Deliverance coming in here. Doran wants to punish Perfect, who is just going to tunnel away.
This champion is just...
For KT. And, you know, 9,000 gold the lead. I don't I don't see T1 and their immense amount of damage doing all too much from this far behind. I think they just die before they're given any amount of time to deal damage.
Yeah.
And those targets that they're trying to deal damage to are even more tanky, have more levels.
I think the main thing as well is that Perfect and PDD are very slippery, so when you are behind compared to them, get over there. So, well, that's Baron.
Yeah, you could face check, but most likely you just die and they still get Baron. So at this state of the game, it doesn't really feel like a good steal angle. You've got a Mundo without flash.
Where it feels so much worse if they got it. I don't think you fight this. You just let it go.
Yeah.
It sucks, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. You need more items. You know, BDD can't gain any more levels at least.
When you're 10,000 gold down, they have Soul on Baron. That is just what you got to say. It is what it is. That's the only thing you can say in that moment.
Yeah. It's that or, you know, FF go next, which of course in pro doesn't happen.
Play it safe.
That's fine.
He did. I think he deep pushed the waves a bit to buy some time. That tower, you know, it's so hard to defend the ones outside the base, so just let that one go. Plan.
Just wait another 15 minutes. Okay, there you go. I mean, they're gonna finally press their buttons and engage and get some space on this mid turret.
Okay, that was good. Made some progress. And they get an inhib tower. Okay, but the Baron's down, and it's only one inhib tower broken, one inhib broken. So I think...
And, I mean, Cuz gonna get the flash at a pace. That's what you gotta do. You know, I was saying
micro
before.
advantages. Oh, yeah. Owner?
Owner does have his flashback. Might need to use it here if he doesn't want to die. He's just gonna throw his ult up and say this is good enough.
Okay, he tanked
Walks
it.
it
Nice.
off. Yeah.
He just shook it off. He just said it is what it is, and he just, he just powered through it.
For KT to actually try to break the base. And this time, 2v1 on a Doran, maybe, but they're just going to hit the turrets instead.
He has GA and passive, so he's really hard to kill. But,
yeah.
you know, unfortunately, the tower isn't. Yes.
Yeah. It's game 2 of the best of 5. No mistakes.
They got the Baron. BDD is...
TPing home.
Did he need to teleport out there?
Is enough. For KT. Do you think they have a lead? Enough of a lead?
I haven't seen them fight in so long. Who even knows anymore?
I have no idea. Owner's kind of tanky. He is going to get rooted up. BDD on the flank here. Very nice angle, but they are going to spot him. The engage comes in from Doran. Aiming is kind of just out of their pace. Mikhails comes in. A big sweep from Faker. But the wallets are so heavy as Owner gets the Elder Drake. They're down 13K. How are they winning?
There's no way. There's no way.
He just killed Aiming. There's no way. Okay, Owner's just going in, and BDD will be able to get away, but...
The base.
Why is T1 allowed to do this?
How is this happening? Objective value is a thing right now. They just got Elder.
So they take down mid turret. That's 800 more gold going over to T1.
Look at their scoreboard. Look at their scores. What is going on?
And Faker got interrupted there. This inhibitor is definitely going down. So props to Perfect for making it interesting here. You know, KT don't have enough of a lead. Just so far behind that it didn't matter for so long.
Backdoors. Doran, watch out.
Well, he can't hear you, Dan, but it's okay. He's going to Grim Deliverance his way out. We got a TP coming in, and he's got 2 reses available. As now they're trying to take a fight here. Pace does not care about Cuz right now. Has to flash away. And now the 2v2 on the bottom side. Flash comes in on a Faker. He's getting pretty low. Go Sonya's! And Perfect wants the knock. Down goes BDD! As his Sonya's ended second, so they're able to time the damage and take him down. And now the T1 Baron is looking pretty good. We got TP coming out here from Doran because Faker's dying. Oh, please, Owner. It is what it is, he says. And now they're just going to run towards the Elder, spawning in 5. But we have a flank coming out here. They're trying to actually win with this flank and maybe try to get on top of Paze, but I don't know if they can. Doran trying to get away, and I think he's just going to go down. There it is. They're looking for the flank. The Wild Growth comes out. Perfect flash from the side of Pace, who's kiting it out. And now KT have to back away. This Aphelios too scary. Yeah.
I mean, in theory, Elder's a very good buff, but you know, T1 got an Elder and couldn't end the game. But will KT be able to end the game off the back of this? I don't know. They just missed us. I mean, okay, I didn't think. Yeah, he did smite. He just missed.
Paze has so much protection with Mikhails, with Lulu, level 18, shields for days.
They're just going to get triple inhibbed.
Yes, they are going to get triple inhib.
Okay, that's not good. But the super minion's going to take a while to come in. Oh, it's tight timing.
All right, they're trying to make it a game here because it's just going to go down, just gets burnt as he tries to engage straight into an Aphelios and just dies. And now we got a flash on in the engage as the Aphelios ult is going to miss, but Ghost is also going to miss. BDD goes Sonya's on the backside. He can't do the damage. Pace is alive. And now Doran is killing, aiming in the back line. Who goes into the GA? And now they just keep one guy at home, and they end the game.
They just won this Elder. How are they winning this game? They're still not ahead in goal. They just equalized. The kill score is 9-18. What is this game?
I cannot believe what we're seeing here. BDD's got his hand on his head. I think he knows. They have one cannon minion in there, and they can just tank it.
I think they just end. To take away the lesson from this game, it's a clean ace. It's a clean game. And it is what it is.
It's a clean 2-0, nothing to see here. T1 take down KT in the telecom war, down 13,000 gold plus.
I feel like Gnar is the more safer pick because you will just tend to have a favorable lane matchup, but it feels more stable. You're that more solid frontliner. And they already have a lot of AP damage in this composition. Oh, they are trying to set up here.
Yeah, the timing on this gank, just as we're discussing this. The flash comes in, Renekton and Talia is there, and so is the shock blast from miles away. Rich is just dead.
Okay.
Already had flash. There's first blood given over to Scout.
Yeah, nice pick up there. Didn't even need to use the Weaver's Wall. Now, Hands overstepping a little bit, but should be able to fight them off.
Is just fine.
Yeah, he's fine. So I can continue my point, is what you're trying to say.
No, you can't.
No.
You has to ult away, but Tails is running him down. The barrier is there. And the flash comes out finally, but it's too late because the damage has been done. And Tails just straight up solo kills him.
Take him down, and this is a big win, getting your Inara fed early. I mean, all the point I wanted to say is that, people are used to the amount of minions in the wave, and it's gonna catch off guard now.
Yeah.
No.
Not if you're really far behind at 30 minutes.
What do you mean?
Well, like Andal tries to pretend to be a caster minion after 30 minutes, right? When they're removed.
Yeah.
But they've already lost the game.
Oh, right,
No.
yeah. I mean, if they've already lost the game at the end of it.
Well, here's the setup from DRX. This is what we wanted to see, and Kingen will get punished.
Okay, they find a play. It's supposed to be like a little point just about little minion Nico changes, and then stuff happened, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what even was the point of me saying this? Yeah, just disrespecting the ult power from the Inara. It's a huge power spike. I feel like kind of akin to Zeri, where you... Oh.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to make a play here with Ghost Alistair. In comes Lehens, forces the flash. He is Alistair, so he's just going to press R and get out. Meanwhile, another 1v1, and this time Jude doesn't have flash. He's just dead. There's no getting out of that. And he just put himself in that position. He's just dead again. And now Scout is here. He's going to get the knockback all by himself. And Yukal, no flash. He used it earlier against Ghost Alistair. That's 2 kills for Nongshim. And Andal barely gets away. Nongshim are running this map.
Little unforgivable at this point. And Taeyun going to be extremely strong already in this game. And now Willa is trying to threaten.
Not with lands there.
Yeah.
No smite, no problem for Sponge.
So you could do that instead.
Well, they're trying to steal the red buff. Not going to be successful yet, but Andal going to get a 3-man knockup. The follow-up is there as well. The Fine goes in. The damage not quite layered, and Taeyun survives basically forever. And finally, Jiu going to press that R button and does get the shutdown just to immediately die. As now the wall is coming down, Sponge and Scout do one more. Then double engage comes in from Lehens, gets both of them, knocks him down with the stun. And Nongshim are just rolling them here.
So far ahead in gold. He now has the biggest lead in the game. And this Jace is just going to really snowball super hard. I think Jace is like the only farming jungler that we're really seeing. Obviously, he's been banned a ton, so we're not really actually seeing him played that much. Fight. And like they're starting the dragon now, but Rich's Mega just timed out. So
Mega just timed out. The Rift Herald is dropped in mid.
That's a huge shock blast.
And there's a wall coming. So Yukal chunked out. It comes down to just an easy smite for Sponge, as Willer was not there. Now he's going to be going in. We got the flank coming in from Andal. They do take out Sponge, but what about the rest of them? Taeyun just dying on the left side by himself. kind of out of reach of the rest of this team, and now Scout and Kingen trying to put 2 and 2 together and do enough damage in a 3v5, which is honestly kind of close. Willer here on the right side. It looks like he might be isolated, and maybe a little bit of food here for the side of Noshim to pick up, but...
Him.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, he can farm faster now, so
yeah.
He can get his items faster, so it helps him do stuff like that. A couple of turrets are going to go down here for Noshim. They just take DRX's turrets just like that. And now we got a deep TP coming in here from
this is a Meganar.
He's pretty far away from the rest of his team, but he's got a Kaisa. They're trying to burst down Sponge, and they will be able to do it. And again, Taeyun is left by himself, and he has to flash the boomerang.
Andal has his flash. I think Willers is going to be back up as well. So,
we got a little play here on a Scout, who is all by his lonesome on the bottom side, doesn't have his flash, and even that little shield's not going to help against the two of them. The Baron, by the way.
So this does mean you can stack your passive very fast.
Yeah.
But does mean you're lacking the Nash.
They have a lot of damage on this Nasher, though. As now the engage comes in, Sponge is late for the smite, and the engage from Andal gets Sponge again! And Taeyun, once again, they don't quite have the damage, though. They might be able to finally take him down, even through the exhaust. Jiu will take him out. Scout now. We're going to take down Jiu, and it looks like Kingen on the flank will be able to take down Jiu. But still, a Baron did go over to DRX. They're going to force that flash away from Yukal.
And now Noshim are on Infernal Soul point. And with Infernal Soul, with a Jace.
Even if he keeps dying.
You see DRX trying to get control of the river right now. Summoner check. Do you see Scout's flashes down?
Oh, these guys do not have their flashes as they're getting engaged on by Lehens and his Alistair. And very tanky is Yukal on the rise. They're going to fight Sponge again. This Jace cannot survive for any amount of time. As now the damage isn't going in onto Jiu. He has that angle on the back line and just absolutely decimates them. We do have now the Realm Warp to come on in. Andal says hello, lands the root and dies, but he did his job as Lehens sticks around as well. And it's an ace for DRX.
I wasn't sure who was going to take that Realm Warp.
Accelerated Shock Blast. So he tries to auto once and instantly dies.
Yeah.
And it just feels like he's always in range of the Vi ult, and outside of the one Shock Blast, he's not doing a whole lot except dying. And Jiu goes in, gets the bait with the Zhonya's. I don't know if it's going to pay off, though, as they try to turn. He's able to flash out of there, and he gets the kill onto the Renekton as well. As now we got the Realm Warp follow-up, and it looks like Scout is not long for this world. Gets taken out. At least Sponge is able to push the wave, as it looks like mid lane is not going to be where DRX will get their push.
That was such a crazy engage from Jiu. And you know what? Sometimes great engages, there's a thin line between, madness and and greatness. And he definitely was treading that line. And making it work, right? Baited so many cooldowns, and the rest of the team were there to follow. He did end up going down, I think, clipped. So extra permission to do
Zhonya's not up yet, though.
Hit a W. No, Zhonya's not up. Yeah, you're correct. Wait for Zhonya's and then do
soon.
it.
And now Kingen, I mean, they do so much damage, he just has to engage. It's a smart idea, but now this ult is going in on the Taeyun, and he's just taken out immediately. Jiu does insane damage at this point and takes out Scout, and I think it is just too far gone at this point. DRX are rolling them now. Even after that very one-sided early game, it does not matter. DRX now looking at another Baron.
And it just feels like, especially with how this game started, like, we're going to be completely honest, Jiu was having a terrible game with being run down by Taeyun multiple times.
Slow start.
Early on, and he is just finding angle after angle. This game was in a terrible state. Again, not even close to the biggest throw that we've seen today. It's been a problem that they just haven't been able to resolve. Willer just presses the R button, and Taeyun can't play the game.
Yeah, it really is that simple. If they were farther behind and the threats were actually threatening, then yeah. As, okay, this time Willer is kind of in a rough spot. Andal goes in by himself. This is not the cleanest fight, but at least they get punched again. Taeyun just melts. And, yeah, he's just gone. I don't think Scout can do nearly enough. DRX are just way too far ahead. They absolutely roll them. They might just end the game.
It looks like it just doesn't even matter how the fight starts. DRX are all going to just fly in and win the fight. They are just all on the same page. It's just see champion, kill champion, right? Anyone who shows up in front of them is a target, and they will just take them down. And DRX, they bounce back. They had a pretty significant 4,000 gold deficit, but they know what that composition needs to do, and they're going to make it work.
There you go, 30 minutes. The comeback is real.
You just literally just laser focused until the Calista hops a little bit too close to terrain, and then you're like flash stunning and hoping you have enough damage to kill her. Which, to be honest, you don't, because it's Calista Renata, right? You defend against this, and Will is here.
Will is here.
You don't need to do this, I'm just going to say.
Well, they're going to send it. Jiwoo, he gets that barrier. He is going to get knocked up, and there it is, first blood. 2 kills for the Calista. Sponge also survives from all the turret shots he also took here.
Okay.
Willer not able to do a whole lot.
You know, I said you don't need to do it. They pulled it off very dead.
And, you know, maybe Nongshim can get a dragon off of this.
I think the only way... I think he's probably just dead. I think he's just dead.
Yep, flash on in for the engage just to make 100% sure that Kingen could not flash it.
Yeah.
And that is easy.
He is just dead.
Now, Gio is he's still not having fun. He wasn't having fun regardless of if Andil was there or not. So probably a good idea for Andil to roam, as long as Gio is not getting dove.
Yeah, he's lacking the buckler support right now, so...
Everybody already knows. We do have a Pantheon in a little bit of trouble here. Willer against 3. We do have Andil and Yukal making their way over, but Willer already super low. And so Yukal and Andil didn't really want a full commit there.
Yeah, that was a bit of a freebie, to be honest. Yeah.
From this, it would be him.
Doesn't Garen do that as well? Where's Garen's skins? Oh.
Maybe Garen did get a skin, but Taeun is in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, that looked painful. Good pickup there, though, from DRX, able to punish that with Lahen's.
Yeah, I mean, Rich got that nice gank from Andil, and he was doing pretty well before. Also, Kingen got denied a wave after the gank. Sponge gonna go ahead and take these grubs here. The needles are coming out as Kingen is going to flash most of it. Almost 14K.
Yeah.
13.9. So Nongshim got the Ocean Drake. It looks like they're gonna get the Chemtech Drake.
I mean, they're a little bit ahead, but it's just not sizable. It's a little worrying.
This is going to be Hextech Soul. It is.
Oh.
There you go.
Wow, good job.
I can see the future. Try your best not to die. Make sure you kill the enemies, not your own teammates, and try to get their inhibitors.
Oh, what?
Okay. All right, we got another TP coming in, actually.
Oh, they really want them.
They really want to get in here. Yukal is in, and there's really no more room for them to run, as there were deep wards behind them, and they absolutely got punished.
And they actually don't even get heralds, so that's pretty worth.
I'd say absolutely worth. And DRX now more than 1,000 gold ahead. Scout.
Also, you have to remember the extra factor.
Didn't expect that
also,
deep ward.
Where was the bailout?
We got a little 1v1 here. Kingen is going all in onto Rich. And he's taking a whole bunch of damage. Grim Deliverance does come in. And meanwhile, we got a fight here in the top river over the Rift Herald as Jiwoo gets in there and does a ton of damage, but now puts himself in a bad spot against Scout. And now in the 1v1, we are going to see Rich does win that, as going back in on a Yukal, he gets burst down. Willer goes in by himself, and that is never going to work out. As Andil, trying desperately to be useful, puts up a steadfast presence, doesn't do a whole lot, but yeah, Nongshim. And now we got the engage here on Andil. He's in a rough spot, honestly. He doesn't have his flash. Willer's as well. Does get the ult off, but Taeun is here. The shield is up. Willer trying to continue this fight, and now Rich, who is gigantic, is trying to take on this Calista, and the return of the team does come in, but the needles get him after the bailout. At the end of the day, though, Nongshim do have control over this Drake. Should be able to take it down for Soul Point.
Yeah, I mean, it's super scrappy, but Nongshim managed to get the dragon, and that's the main thing. Taeun getting a lot of value on this Calista. And these fights, I just feel like struggling to really get the consistent damage down.
The best soul in the game. And, okay, we got a little all-in here from Scout, who might regret his decision. Takes a bajillion damage. Just the bailout, though, as Lahens gets there. And yes, Willer will shut him down, but it's going to be a 2-for-1 in favor of Nongshim.
Oh, and Kingen stopped the TP.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not sure Rich would have wanted to follow that TP. As strong as he is, he would have just TP'd into 3 people.
He was low, he left, and then, like, Rich eventually got there. As now Scout, he's really not enjoying his existence here in the side lanes, as continuously getting ganked. The DRX will not let their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, he is Not so. Ooh. There's a TP coming in. Yeah.
All right, just flash and press R. That's better.
Why not?
No needles available here for Rich, so eventually, even in the mist, he's trying to do his best and pummel down Sponge, but I think it's just a little bit too much.
That works. Just do that. You know, we'll pretend he didn't mess up the flag and drag combo.
That's fine.
That wall's really long anyway. UCAL now level 13 though, you know, making some progress. Just hasn't really been picking up the farm as much as you'd hope.
This comes out, but meanwhile, Nongshim going for this dragon, taking a ton of burst and poke damage rather. And this engage from Lehens is not going to work out. The hostile takeover does hit onto Willer and catches the two of them. And now Taeyun with the bailout on the left side should be able to take out Gio, and there is, but immediately dies afterwards. That's the third time that's happened in this game. From apart, who just wants to stick together like a team.
See UCAL threatening on the flank, and Rich too. If they can get a pincer here, it could be so devastating.
You can see that Nongshim knows about this. They don't want to commit, as the ult is going to hit nobody from the poppy. They're trying to isolate him, though, on the left side, and no bailout comes out. He's just dead. That's no AD carry for Nongshim now. Kingin in a rough spot is going to go into that passive Sponge. Can't really do all this by himself, though. They're trying to get on top of Rich, but he just flashes the wall. And the knock into the wall here from Ondil is huge. 880 gold goes over to UCAL, and they should get this dragon.
Yeah, able to stop the soul coming through. So much damage done by Rich, and I think Lehens was inside the Callisto ult, so couldn't use the bailout on Taeyun. He just goes down. The angle of approach from DRX there was so good. Oh. Well, it's half his health, but he's still alive. Sporadic Baron starts in this game. Oh, we are seeing...
the dragon.
There was like 7 pings that came in like a second there.
Well, we're going to have this Poppy ult hit something as the Jarvan goes flying, and now they're going for the engage. The hostile takeover is going to get Ondil, but not this Gwen, as Lehens is trying to peel against the Gwen. Nobody can deal damage to Rich. He's getting low. Finally, they do take him out, and he was the main member that they were looking for, but UCAL able to get 2. We're going to pick up a bit more, and finally that Bruiser Corki does go down as 80 carries are out of the fight. And Willer kind of by his lonesome here on the top side. Eventually, he should be going down.
You know, honestly, a lot of discipline from both 80 carries to not end up flashing. It's actually DRX who maintain a ton of Summoner Spell economy. So I think Nongshim are fine.
They haven't even started it yet, and this soul is already gone.
Willer's not up, and he doesn't have ult.
Yeah.
So
no, they're not doing Baron. Ondil's got to be careful about, okay, they're trying to TP flank actually, so enough about being careful. They just want to get on into Scout, and he's going to get supremely low, but they take out Jiwoo on the backside of that fight, and they get Rich. And it's really only UCAL that is a damage dealer that's left here on the side of DRX. As Nongshim, they don't get everyone, but they get enough to go for this Baron.
Yeah, I think the big thing as well is Willer, no flash, no ult, cleared off miles away. He's not going to be able to contest for the smite. So Nongshim going to be able to secure the Baron off the back of this. And feeling pretty good with the outcome. DRX try and force this aggressive fight. It just doesn't pay off.
That just felt a little bit too forced. I mean, the TP was coming in. Willer was going head first, but you're right in the center of them.
Yeah, there we go.
But they got to get multiple angles against the Renata specifically, as Willer's going to go in. He's got a shield right in front of him, and Kingan's going to zone the rest of the team and nearly just take out Gio all by himself. Gio has to barrier and flash, and he's still going to go down. Bit of a disaster, but DRX tried their absolute hardest to make a fight work. And Nongshim say, we are just better at this point in time. As Rich, not even that far ahead anymore. Kingan was able to catch up by this point in the game. And with that, they should be able to push spot and win this one.
Yeah, Scout did a great job in this one, keeping UCAL at bay, not letting him approach on the flank, keeping him accountable. And also Lehens with the Renata getting so much value in these fights. So they will be able to equalize the series. A scrappy game again. We're going to be 1-1 between these two and taking us to the game 3.
UCAL going to try his best. Here comes Ondil, but no ults and no health bars anymore. Down will go the Nexus. Nongshim brings us to a game number 3.
It definitely feels like Nongshim want to play at range and just C champion, Braum passive, Caitlyn trap, headshot. There you go. There's not a ton of engage in either composition.
He did chunk Kingan for about 20% of his health.
I think Kingan's just getting cut. He's like, what? Like, Willer came for the gank, and he's like, huh? And now Rich all He's like, I'm going all out. And he's like, huh?
He's a bit confused.
He's like, dude, we're just supposed to auto each other for grasp stacks. Like, keep chill. Like, what's your problem?
Avoids the Braum gank.
Yeah. Oh.
And now Taeyeon actually is going to get stunned up. The second shot does miss, but the fourth does. Okay, they're going to set it up. And that was very sad. I think he's just dead. It doesn't really matter, but, you know, it made him look a little silly. Yeah. Willer is going to pick up first blood in the bottom lane. It
did make it look like Jiwoo and Andal haven't practiced Jhin Bard that much, but they did still get the kill. So, you know, Willer being there definitely helping.
Tool, which can be utilized for good rather than evil. And
you're still going with that for evil line.
You know, they should use it, I would say. Sponge is in a little bit of trouble here. Lehens is getting in there, though, and is going to land the stun on a Willer, who maybe did go a little bit too far. But they get the kill with the shockwave, and Taeyeon from miles away is able to take down Willer.
Because he's not going to have that much AP on the Jax.
It would feel pretty bad to lose those, I think, because maybe we're trying to kill Sponge again. This is looking like a replay, although UCal is getting engaged on Sponge. Very much isolated, but now he's got Lehens coming on over as Taeyeon is just in there. He just dies like he was in the banana brush behind enemy lines, and that means that DRX is going to pick up a double kill. Nice little try from Andal to land the double stun there. Not quite going to work out. UCal having a lot of protection here, and with the help of Andal, she'll be able to chase down Lehens. Andal just doesn't want to take the kill, and he won't have to. As a nice little fight goes the way of DRX.
So doomed if he'd not gotten this insane value here to turn around and get 2 kills. And they actually managed to get back on the map and get the dragon. So Scout clutching this fight out, ultimately, able to find massive value.
Oh, trying to set up here. We got 2. A little bit caught, but again, there's so much to get through, but Sponge is kind of left by his lonesome in the front. Lehens not able to block for him. A little bit overextended were Nongshim after the fight.
Yeah, that he is.
We have a TP from UCal to the top lane.
Yeah, Herald pretty gone. We will see Taeyeon able to push the wave out, so they won't immediately be able to slam it mid with a wave.
He's got Storm Razor. We're trying to get on top of Lehens. I feel like Andal has ult every 2 seconds. Like it's always up. And they're throwing everything into this Braum, but Nongshim are just really not grouping together as a team. It's well, over and over like these individual picks. Now it's a double kill for UCal.
Able to play so aggressive on the back of your counter-strike. So the initial portion of the fight, there's just very little counterplay. The Braum can't do much. You can't stack up the passive. You can't really die and then jump in. That is not the play.
Yeah, I think we can pretty easily see that one. As, yeah, UCal going to be slowed up here. Doesn't have his flash, actually. Nice little shockwave, but even Exhaust going to be utilized trying to get him down. They give the kill and the shutdown gold over to Scout, who's now 4-1. Still behind UCal, funnily enough.
Pretty strong on this spike. I'm not sure if Scout is close to second item. But if you look at the items on DRX,
One Chemtech Drake.
It's just, especially like having completed items versus, you know, giant spelt blasting wand. It's not it. No, they're fighting it. Okay. Okay, they did get the Rylai's in. Sponge is a lot weaker than Willow, though.
And the TP just to get engaged on, and the setup here is gigantic once again. Scout has a nice 1v1 versus Jiwoo, though, who is out of the fight. But we got Ritz kind of going insane mode on this backline in the actual fight, as it looks like they will eventually take out King, and Scout does get another kill, though. 5th for him. He's topping the damage charts, and it's not like he's playing it to tank Rek'Sai or anything. As now we get another engage onto Lehens, who is just out in the middle of nowhere, just dies to Willer, who is not going to stop there, continues to chase, and even gives the kill over to UCal.
A lot of control on the back of play after play from this Jax leading the charge, and a pick that, you know, we haven't seen that often in the LCK. Occasionally, as a counter pick that Xin Zhao is just paying off so well for DRX right now.
Bad spot.
Also, he's gone LDR seconds. He actually has good pen.
He's doing damage. It's actually happening. And here we go. The setup comes in once again with the Jax and the Orianna. Maybe this time a little bit too deep, as Sponge was actually able to zone for the rest of the team as well. And Scout does barely live.
Yeah, that's not a good trade. Willet overstepping a little bit there.
Yeah.
And a big shutdown given over.
But they did the cool combo, Ox.
Yeah. Okay, here's the Jhin ult.
It's a zoning ult. Just gonna push them back. Gets them the turret. It actually does have value here.
Yeah, not the most damage, not the best value ultimate, but, you know, DRX able to push forward and force them away.
Hell?
Okay, good peel.
It's okay, Rich is here. It was all a bait. No, Rich has to flash. That's pretty unfortunate. A bit of a mistake. UCal did not see the cupcake on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
Nongshim unable to contest. And it's definitely an uphill battle from this point for Nongshim from here. It's so hard to do Baron, I feel, on this season. Unless you get like an actual meaningful advantage in terms of kills. I think they're probably just looking towards Soul as their route into finishing this game. Just difficult to approach. You can see Sponge clearing some vision around the Baron. But I just feel like Will is so ready just to jump in.
Oh! Well, if nobody gets in front of the Jhin, you're going to have some problems. As now, once again, the Bard ult is in there. The exhaust on the Willer, though. The combo isn't there. They don't have the damage. There's a flash away and a big shuffle on it, too. Gets UCal immediately. And Nongshim are not out of this game yet. As here on the backside, you see that GA into the trap you were talking about. Headshot! And the headshot does come in, double kill, but it is still 3-on-3. Rich still doing quite a lot. Taehoon actually hit by the fourth shot. But still winning this one is Nongshim. And let's see where they decide to go. Will they risk a Baron? I wonder.
I think you go Dragon, I think you go Baron. But Scout just refusing to lose this game. This is the man possessed. The shuffle was massive. And, you know, I was saying, I don't know if the GA is really going to be punished here. Oh, the knockup.
Well, they're just going to come in here and face check and hope they can win in the 2v3. Doesn't look very likely, based on what we're seeing here, although they're gonna get away. And G is kiting this one out pretty well, but he does get straight up ulted by the Scion as another missed stun from King, but it just does not matter. And that's a shutdown. Some extra gold for Taehoon. Look at that, he's 2,500 ahead. He is so fed in this game now.
He got a lot of gold from that. And yeah, I was wondering, is the GA gonna be punished? I didn't think it would. I thought DRX was so far ahead, but you saw there. They'll start it up.
The giant wave in top lane too. It feels like an Nongshim have control right now. And it's okay, we are gonna get the Bard ult down, but there's just no smite. Zondil doesn't have it either, and that is just going to be the smite down pretty late, actually. Went down to like 600 there, but still able to get it done.
Oh, Willet's coming back over, so they're just kind of forced their way out here. You can't ult!
Okay, it's gonna catch Sponge. That's not what you're looking for. And there's the scoop on a UCal, but the damage a lot slower and immediately goes down Scouts. As Rich, he's kind of going in alone, though. That's not going to work out. A couple of kills go to Nongshim after the fact.
Again, Scout with the clutch plays. He trades his life for UCal, but he doesn't care. He knows how strong this Orianna is. So many things that block damage. Yeah. There's the W from Kingin, there's the shield from the Hens, there's the ult from Sponge. Sponge is not very useful, but he can press his ultimate, and that buys time.
He's doing his job. It's not the flashiest job, but it's fine. Okay, they're going to catch Taehoon. They're going to catch Taehoon. And the front line, he gets shockwaved and killed! And DRX are right back in it. Sponge is just dead as well. And now the Jhin is opening up. Willer is unkillable! And he's going to hop on top of them. And immediately Nongshim are falling like a house of cards. As it looks like Kingin will also be taken out. And just like that, TP in the mid lane, DRX have their eyes set on the mid lane.
And that's game. That's enough. And you look at the summoner spells. Taehoon's flash has just come back up. He only needed just a matter of 15 seconds for that summon to become available. And DRX pounced on the opportunity. Andal finds the window on this Bard again and punishes this Fed carry. Lehen's the last one alive. 13 seconds on the Caitlyn. I don't think it's enough.
Just a wild day of games, and it ends with this one. We thought we knew who was throwing, but it was thrown right back. An excellent play from DRX to pull it right back. And there you go. They take their first victory of the LCK Cup 2026.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.